Point click on that tab. And then I can, and then the. Then I do something, I can pick whatever document I want and click on it.
Right. So this adds an extra step, which seems to me to be done. I'm fine.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the regular town board meeting for the town of Tustin for October 14th. Call the meeting to order and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Our payment of bills. The general expended $69,908.79. Highway expended $70,295.31. Water, $8,529.79. Sewer, $9,938.15. The lighting district, $5,660.24. For a total of $164,334.26. I believe most of our general fund was the repaving and maintenance in the parking lot behind the bank. Kevin and Greg, did the bills, any questions, comments, issues, corrections?
No, do you want to talk about or is that too inside baseball? That they're getting a little quicker and so we're doing a little different?
No,
All right,
yeah, that's easy.
inside
Inside baseball. A motion to pay the bills as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion in a second.
I'll second.
Further comment? All in favor? Aye, opposed. We'll go into our division reports. Again, those that are not done live at the meeting, will be posted online where they can be gone over. Water and sewer.
The big news is that, since the last meeting, the Department of Health got back to us and to Delaware Engineering, and as of this afternoon, Delaware Engineering has gotten back to the DOH about the water tower project. So that's moving it in ways that it hasn't moved in quite some time.
Trampled by turtles.
Otherwise, it's the usual, dealing with 3 wells and various stage ebbs and flows, so.
Ebbs and flows.
And you've got a agreement,
Oh, right, and we need, in the general meeting, we need to approve the labor agreement with the water and sewer department.
any questions from the board for Kevin? You?
We have a trunk or treat, coming up this Saturday of 18th, from 4:30 to 7, between down on the playground, the flats in Harrisburg. We are still looking for some trunks, so if anyone is interested or knows anybody, they can email us, info@tutsneeds.org. When we are doing a Halloween movie as well, I mean, so. That's all for now.
Parks and public spaces.
The notes are very complete. Just one update. Thank you to the highway department. I was down in the park this afternoon and some of you may have noticed that we eliminated a lot of the old signs that were rusted or dented or worse for wear, and we consolidated them into one sign that matches the dedication signs. I think they look very nice, and the highway department got it in before the first freeze, so thank you to them.
Any board questions for Greg? Nice. Is Kathleen here? No.
She was here for a second. She was here for a minute talking.
Oh.
Did she whisper in your ear or something?
Said she submitted her.
Oh, okay.
She couldn't stay.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen one.
So, are you looking for input on the park name? From the community or from the board or?
The discussion has been ongoing. I think we'll have another round of it in the next meeting, and then I would imagine we might have some recommendations for more comment. Good discussion overall.
James,
What would you like to do?
you could go through both of them
Okay.
before we come back to Kevin.
CZ and that, is it, well, we were approved $3,000 from the UDC for zoning update, so that's good. It looked like they had, 27,000, no, $9,000 to divvy up, and they gave 3,000 to each requester. I think that's it on grant. Well, we're winding down on the National Fish and Wildlife, and Ben has been working on submitting some of the requests for payment. Okay.
And then we just got the USDA grant for well three.
USDA grant for well three.
It's, they want to move, Delaware Engineering is working on it, wants to move forward, but USDA isn't at work anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a little roadblock.
And everything I think that has been received for the Sullivan 180 grant, and that will, the final report has to be in by the end of the month. So that'll happen. And that's that. Okay, CAC, everything is ready to go. Public hearing, is it on the website? Yes. So we, the
Open space inventory and the,
natural resources inventory on the public space. No,
I have not received them.
Ben sent it to you.
oh, I might not have sent it to her. If she doesn't have them, I can send them to her.
I-
We can get that on, we can work on getting that on tomorrow and then we could set the public hearing tonight for it.
Okay, so we need a public hearing for that.
Okay.
And I encourage you all to read it. It was a lot of work and it's a good report. And we'd like your input. And that I think is it.
Okay. Before we get into the building report, the parking committee, you had the parking lot paved and
It was paved and
Partially
then
striped.
started striping it and then it started raining and they're coming back, right? The
yes,
county.
they are coming back.
And so far, like you said, no accident.
No accident. And we picked up a couple of spots.
Yeah.
Inside of there.
Expanded. Shiny.
Greg? Building?
Reports, I would say it's, there are no major points to discuss, but the notes are complete. Some discussion about setting some goals for 2026, including touching up the exterior of the building, perhaps, removing some older, planter brackets, that type of thing. And we're also trying to establish a cleaning schedule or a maintenance schedule for the exterior. I've been in touch with our maintenance person about that. And I did follow up on the extermination concerns, and those are up to date. It was down.
Old business, 3.1 handicap entrance concerns to town hall. We do have an email that was sent to the clerk's office from Deborah Warden from the Action Towards Independence. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to visit and provide an assessment of the accessibility for individuals with disabilities. We're grateful for your commitment to ensuring access for all voters in your district. There was a return email to Deborah from Lee Delaney of the clerk's office. Thank you for your visit today and reviewing the handicap access to the town hall. Your walkthrough of the parking lot, the ramp and egresses is appreciated, as are the two suggestions. One, adding a 1 or 2 inch foam ramp to the door sills, and 2, changing the doorknob on the back door to a lever style. We're committed to assuring that the town hall is accessible to all. Your feedback is appreciated. As a result of that, the door handle was ordered, as were some sill, foam ramps for the sill. There is an issue getting the one door handle in there, so that is in the process, and probably by the next board meeting, that should be done. We should have given that on the building, but you're now informed. Is there any old business from the board before we go into new business? If not, new business 4.1, we've received a letter from Stephen Swenson to the Town of Tustin Highway Department. Please accept this letter as a formal notification of my retirement from the Highway Department effective the 2nd of October of this year. Having spent 29 years with the Highway Department, I am choosing to step aside. I am choosing to retire to concentrate on my health so I may be able to enjoy my retirement years. I am grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with and meet some good people. I wish you all well, and I hope I'm able to stay in touch. Sincerely, Clarence Stephen Swenson.
And there's some already.
We would like to thank Stephen for his 29 years of the Highway Department. That's a long time for anybody to be out every winter in the middle of the night plowing snow. I would make a motion that we accept the letter from Stephen Swenson regarding his retirement.
I'll second.
With regret,
With good wishes.
good wishes.
Nobody can regret somebody after 29 years. They've paid the due.
And they paid.
I have a motion and I have a second. All in favor? Aye, opposed. 4.2 is a budget modification. The first part of this motion is to establish an expenditure line of A 5650.4, which is off-street parking contractual. This will be what we would use for paving the bank parking lot, and we would use it here at the parking lot in the town hall. And a motion to make the following transfers to that line. $2,000 from A 3650.4, which is the demo of unsafe buildings. I believe that should be 20,000, Frank,
Oh,
Sorry.
not 2,000. 10,000 from A 1440.4,
20K.
20,000. Which is the engineer contractual. 2,000 from A 1930.4, which is judgment and claims. And $494 from A 5410.4, which is sidewalks and signs, and that takes care of our paving project.
So the whole thing ended up costing 32,494.
Yes. So I will make that motion to establish the expenditure line with the budget modifications as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on that at all? If not, all in favor? Aye, opposed?
So this 32,494 has been transferred from other lines.
Yes.
Wasn't that going to be ARPA money?
If she can pay it with ARPA money, we're gonna need the expenditure line to show where it came out of.
Okay.
And we're funding the line and then it'll come back into the general account.
Okay.
Just based on what I paid to repave my very small driveway, 32,494.
Yeah.
It's a credit to everyone that we got the parking lot.
I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
They spent some time on it and they got it done when they said they would, considering the weather and everything else that they were doing. 4.3, we need to set public hearings, one for the natural resources inventory. We can do that at the same time as the open space recreation plan. And the other will be for the 2026 budget. Jane, you would talk to Peter and he said he wanted to be here in person
Yeah.
for that.
Well, no, or I offered him Zoom or in person.
Okay. Does he have a preference on dates?
Well, I only asked him to come the one day, that's
Which day did you have?
the one that's a holiday.
Huh?
The next town board meeting, which I thought was not a holiday, so.
Okay, well, we can set it for that day, the town board, not the 11th, but we can set it for the town board meeting for that one, and then we have to determine the 2026 budget one. So in that vein, the 11th is going to be Veterans Day, which is our normal meeting. Does the board have a preference when the meeting is moved to? Do we want to move it to the Monday, the 10th?
At what time?
I would say 6:30,
Which would mean the public hearings would be at 6.
which would be following the,
Okay, okay, yeah. And your meeting ends when?
It'll end that night at 6.
No, I'm just saying, you've got
5 o'clock.
5, that's for the parks. So that's not a conflict with you, right?
We'll make it work.
Yeah, okay.
So what day?
Ken, does that
Monday.
work for you? Okay. What's that? I don't think you're gonna need to be here for it, to tell you the truth.
Schedule something because I
Right.
will not schedule.
Well, if we have anything heavy, we could always move it to a different day. Okay,
So what day is this?
so we'll do the, November meeting will be moved to the 10th of November at 6:30. And we will do a public hearing for the natural resources inventory and the open space recreation plan. We will begin that at 6 o'clock.
Okay, I'll email him right now. Well, he's not gonna answer. Okay.
For the
I may be a little late for that, because I think I have a library board meeting in Jeffersonville. But
That's
you know, I'll
okay.
be late. I don't know.
that'll be fine.
Yeah,
Greg says he's staying home that week.
you'll have a quorum.
On the calendar, the ZBA is meeting that night and they canceled.
They haven't yet.
Your meeting doesn't start till 7:30, gives you a whole hour.
And if they have something, they can move their meeting into Wednesday. We've got more things.
More important stuff.
Okay, our 2026 budget, we need to set some work days for that, and we also need to set the public hearing for that. I think at this point, are we thinking 1 or 2 work sessions for the budget?
I think one is not, we could do it in one, but I think to just
Okay.
assume we can do it.
Do we
in one.
want to do 2 days in a row? So that we
Fine with
can,
me.
When do we have to have these meetings by?
we need to have the preliminary budget. We need to make the tentative into the preliminary budget. It's gonna have to be by the 28th,
Of November.
Crystal? No,
Of December, of October.
October.
Oh,
Because of the time frame to get it, it has to be in the paper 5 days prior.
And you can't hold it any later than November 6th, the Thursday after election.
I say sooner the better.
It would be, if you can finish it truly the end of next week. This way there's time, because the paper, even though I give it to them on the 29th, it's not going in the paper till Thursday, Friday. So,
I can't meet on the 21st. Which is a Tuesday, correct?
Now, this can also be during the day. I mean, it's not imperative that it is nighttime if whatever works for everybody.
Well, you wanna try the 22nd or the 23rd?
I'm good for those days. That's a Wednesday,
Depending on the time.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday I would prefer earlier.
How long a session?
That'll be determined by how much we go through.
Thursdays we have 4 to 4. Like they start getting things set up around 4:30.
Yeah, and I'm
So when you say early, you mean like noon?
known to be wonderful.
That'd be great.
On the 23rd?
Noon, it's not,
What's good for you?
either 9 AM or 1.
One's okay.
Fun's fine.
1 o'clock on the 23rd?
One, that's
Second.
one.
22nd and 23rd, 1 P.M.
Oh, 27.
Okay. Wonderful.
And do we have to set the hearing?
What we need to do is we can recess this meeting so that we can then make the tentative a preliminary, and then, that we could set the hearing, but we need to have it as a preliminary before it goes in the paper. When do we want to have the hearing? Which actually, can we set the hearing without having it as a preliminary, or do we have to wait till?
You know, you gotta adopt the preliminary budget.
Yeah, so what will happen is on the 23rd, after the work session, tonight, we will recess our meeting to the 23rd so that we can approve the preliminary and set the public hearing. But what are we looking at for days? Let's figure that day out now. We don't have to. Since we've got everybody here and the public is here.
Monday the 3rd, Wednesday the 5th.
The 6th is the latest we could go.
And it can't be the 4th.
Can't be the 4th. The 3, 5, and 6 are our days, but we moved the meetings on the 3rd for a particular reason, I believe.
We,
So. The 5th? I don't know.
I'm way behind here.
We're looking for a public hearing, a tentative public hearing date. We can't set it tonight because we don't have a preliminary, but at least.
Right. But it's after November 1st, right?
Mhm.
Can't be the 4th.
Can you do the 5th?
Are you guys
Oh,
looking at your calendar playing
During the
games?
day?
I'm trying to write down, I'm still putting the workshop.
Okay, I think I'm.
November 5th, or
Okay, time.
6 or 6:30, I guess, for.
Yeah, 6 or 6:30. I can't do the 4, 6.
I'm sorry. Okay,
30?
we're not setting that tonight, but that is tentative what we will be doing.
November 5, 6:30,
November 5, 6:30.
Guy Fawkes Day.
Oh, well then.
Set fire to the budget.
Now, the rescheduling the committee meetings from 11:03 to 11:10, that'll be for the water and sewer committee meeting at 9 AM and the building committee at 5 PM.
3:30. Parks should also be there. at
Yeah.
5.
Okay,
Parks
so
is at 5.
Parks at 5 and 3:30 will be the building.
PM.
And then the board meeting at 6:30.
Yes,
Perfect.
which brings us all the way to 4.6.
Are you gonna make a motion to do all of those, to set all those meetings?
I can't do the public hearing.
But you've got a public hearing
A
for,
motion, for the public hearing of the natural resources and open space and recreation plan for 6 o'clock.
Yep. the
Um,
November meeting.
for the November meeting,
Monday.
and then that November meeting will be at the 10th. We're moving it from the 11th to the 10th,
Your 2 workshops,
and we are setting 2 workshops for the 22nd and the 23rd at 1 PM.
and you are also changing the date of those 3 committees.
And changing the date of the 3 committee meetings in one long resolution.
That's okay, there's a lot of,
What was the water sewer committee date and building?
It's
committee
the 10th,
From the 3rd to the 10th.
the 10th.
to the
It
10th?
might already be in your calendar. We discussed it. in the
Yeah.
meetings.
Oh,
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye, opposed. 4.6 is adopt a resolution to join the Town County Millennium Pipeline Appeal to authorize the supervisor to join that. And can you give the board just a
Yeah.
very quick,
We'll let the owners of the Money Pipeline have challenged their assessment, not only here in the town of Tustin, but in every town in the county in which the pipeline runs through, not to mention every town below us in the pub still in the county too. But, I received a telephone call from the county attorney last week, asking if the towns I represent, of course, one of them would be Tustin, would be interested in joining forces with the county and collectively engaging council and sharing the cost of whatever the appraisal expense might be, which makes perfect sense. I mean, this is a very complex, valuation problem. There'll be a fair amount of expense associated with it. I had suggested to him that he might also want to reach out and speak to the school districts because they've got as much tax money at stake as the counties and the county and the towns combined do, which I suspect he's doing. But right now, really, all we need is just action on your part saying that you are willing to participate in it. I would absolutely strongly recommend it. I mean, everybody's going to be served better if we're united in a single front, single defense, and share the cost burden. Because it's appraising this pipeline is a specialty exercise and is going to be very expensive.
Do we know what our exposure is?
I can't tell you what, you mean in terms of tax dollars?
In terms of the legal expenses?
No, there's no way to. I mean, this is something that gets billed on an hourly basis by whoever does it.
But we are not committing to the financial exposure.
No, I mean, there would have to ultimately be, I think would have to ultimately be an agreement reached among all the municipalities that do join together. Probably a municipal, intermunicipal agreement where it's stated that we're gonna agree that the cost is gonna be shared and how it's gonna be prorated amongst the participants, because it's gonna be done on some fair basis. There's some towns that have a lot of pipeline, there's some towns that have a little small piece of the pipeline, and, there's different value, at stake.
And why are we responsible, towns, responsible?
Well, because we assess the property.
Because we assess the property.
So it's no different than your house. Every commercial piece of property, every piece of property in the town is assessed, and,
So are we potentially,
They're appealing what's already been.
which, yeah, when they reconstructed the pipeline a number of years ago, they actually went into an IDA program and they had an exemption and were making pilot payments. And that all burned off about a year ago or so.
Right.
And now they're on the roll for the full number, and obviously they don't want to be on the roll of the full number.
Right.
well, this sounds like a horrible system in that different assessors are contributing to the assessment. So it sounds like to be really inconsistent. So what I'm wondering is within that, if one community has found that their assessment is incorrect, but ours was to be correct, would we be paying for that other community?
Well, no, you're gonna, if there's a refund ultimately, we're only gonna be responsible for our share of the refund. This is about-
But also our portion of, it will be assessed. The number will be brought forward with our portion.
Well, you gotta remember,
So for
everything has-
example, if
everything has-
Highland had a
everything has-
mile.
Everything has a full value.
Mhm.
So if a mile of pipeline is worth $1 million here, the mile of pipeline is worth $1 million in the other towns as well. Now, on the assessment roll, it will ultimately be a different number because our level of assessment or equalization rate is different from all of the towns. That's why they call it an equalization rate, because it equalizes so that theoretically, if a $1 million property pays the same amount of tax wherever it is, based on equalization.
And the county and state are part of this as well?
The county and the school districts are part of it.
And does that same formula apply so that the portion of the taxes the county gets would be their responsibility?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
of course.
No, no, it is, of course. I mean, every time we defend in this, anytime an assessment is challenged by a taxpayer, they sue the town because we assess the property. Most of the time, the county does not get involved in it. And for the smaller ones, the school district doesn't even get involved in it because they rely on us. We do the assessing, we defend it. But if there's a reduction, then everybody bears their own freight in terms of whatever the reduction is
And what if-
and the refund.
What if their appeal is not found valid? Are they responsible for the legal costs? How good lovely for them.
Does the pipeline run through every town in the county?
Not every town in the county, but pretty much every town on the western end of the county. It starts in Fremont, comes through us, Delaware's got a chunk of it.
Yeah, Bethel.
Bethel's got, I think, a fairly small piece of it. It was already down through, I think Highland and Lumberland probably have a piece of it. Forestburg has a small piece of it. Because, so pretty much the western side of the county is involved.
Have fun then.
Thanks. Any other questions for Ken before I put forth the motion?
So we're basically moving to move forward with this, but we'll get further information.
We're
about-
moving to state that we are willing to join forces with the other municipalities in a joint defense of the collective action.
If somewhere along the line, we'll get the.
Yeah, it'll have to be brought back to you to actually approve this, a formal agreement.
This is
that
just
sets
letting
forth
me
the
walk in the
parameters
door.
on how costs are gonna be apportioned.
Okay.
They have the right to ask, to say that they want, that they don't think our assessment.
Of course
is-
they do. everywhere.
Sure, that's what our zoning board of appeals does. We have a zoning board of appeals.
No, that's not the zoning board of, it's the
Oh.
Board of Assessment.
Board of Assessment, I'm sorry,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
The Board of Assessment Review hears cases that come to them and then they make a determination. It's usually done,
Okay,
you know,
so other
here,
people-
but this is not.
Everybody who has a real property tax assessment has the opportunity to grieve that assessment. with the
Grievance
Board of
day,
Assessment
right, yeah.
Review, and if they're not happy with that, they're entitled to seek judicial review of the.
Is there a chance that it could go up?
The assessment could go up,
Mhm.
only if PEG decides to increase the value next year.
So you need a motion to,
Authorize the
Move forward.
supervisor to, join other towns, county school districts, in a.
I think the motion is to authorize the supervisor to inform the county that the town of Tustin is willing to join in a joint defense of the pipeline assessment.
so I'll move what he said. I'll move that.
I will second. All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed. We need to set a special meeting for the water and sewer re-levy, which is due to the county by the 20th of November. We're looking to do that on the 18th of November. That I believe is a Tuesday. And that can be at any time of the day.
And again, this isn't discussing water and sewer rates. This is discussing the re-levy. This is essentially people who don't pay their quarterly things and they're re-levied to the tax.
The county will
So-
make the town, the districts whole, and then the
Right.
county will go after these.
So this is a 5-minute meeting.
Yes,
All right.
they're all 5-minute meetings.
Oh, yeah.
So you want,
So what day is this? The 11th?
The 18th of November to Tuesday. Your availability?
I can't be sure
Okay,
that far out.
I'm afraid I'm not sure either. But set it and
I'll make every attempt.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, we just need
Around it.
3, so. Last one in the door will
Do
be.
you figure 1 o'clock or you want to do it early?
1 is good. Crystal, 1.
One works for me.
A motion to set the special meeting for the water and sewer re-levy to the 18th of November at 1:00 PM.
I'll make that one.
A second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. 4.8, a code enforcement hire. We have a subject by the name of Brendan Kenny, who is also a town resident here. He has completed his first 5 courses out of 6 with the exams completed. He's got his last exam tomorrow. I'm looking for a hire into the building department for the purpose of assisting the building department. For no more than 20 hours a week at this point, at a pay of $32 an hour. The money is already in the budget for this coming budget. And was figured in with the anticipation that the board would like to move forward on a hire to the code enforcement office so that we can start utilizing it to come up to speed on some of our complaints. Questions and comments from the board?
Could you tell me his last name again?
Kenny, Kenny.
So he's gonna concentrate on enforcement.
He's
This
going,
gives Jim more time
yeah,
to
he's gonna
concentrate on
work,
development.
under the direction of Jim. To start handling some of the complaints that keep getting. Pushed down the ladder as the other stuff comes forward.
Right.
Also fire inspection, yes.
You still remain on the planning board.
Yeah, I'll double check. I don't think it's a, it's an incompatibility.
I was gonna be short to say we're not caught with that.
I did speak with the county on this, to make sure that he meets the requirements for the county because they are our, employee relations. We don't have our own human resource. He does have the qualifications. He's got his, like I said, his first 5 exams have been, passed, with his final exam being tomorrow. So without the final exam tomorrow, he is eligible to work underneath a code enforcement officer. And the title would be a code enforcement / building inspector.
Do you need a motion to hire him as that?
I-
That title.
I do.
I'll make that motion.
A second. I have a second from Cash, further discussion on that? Will include to start date being immediately,
He was at,
Thursday.
Last Thursday?
No, this Thursday coming.
he was with Jim today.
Got it.
Yeah, that was a personality
This
test.
started-
Oh, okay, all right, so on the clock.
Okay.
I have a motion, a second, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed. 4.9 is the labor contract for the sewer and water bargaining agreement with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 363. And a ratification of that agreement. Kevin was at the meeting, and I believe we bring most of the details to the Water and Sewer Committee. Any questions from the board? Further questions on that? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept and approve the collective bargaining agreement with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 363, with our water and sewer bargaining unit effective January 1, 2026 through December 31 of 2028.
I'll make that motion.
And a second? Further discussion?
It's ironic that our water is represented by the electrical workers.
Yeah.
How did I know that was coming? All in favor? Aye, opposed. 4.10 is a letter of no objection. The Cheehive Incorporated, and this was regarding doing business as the Parlor Presents on this 25th of September. This is a retro approval to the New York State Liquor Authority that we have no objection regarding the Cheehive doing business as Parlor Presents, and raises no objection to them holding more than 4 events as permitted by the New York State Liquor Authority. I would make a motion to approve that letter of no objection.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Question on why it came to us after the fact.
It came to us, I believe, on the day that it needed to be done. Yeah, that was the conversation that Crystal had initiated in order for them to partake in the events of that weekend. Do we have any other new business that I have not put forth from the board? I believe that Jane would like to enter an executive session after the public comment for the purpose of discussing acquisition and disposition of real property. So I will open the floor to public comment prior to that. Michael?
Thank you very much. just going to bring forward what Greg touched on earlier to the full board and to the public, some of the comments that I've made at the Parks and Public Spaces Committee meetings, so that everybody has kind of a full understanding of what I've been proposing. Ben, Greg, and Jane have already heard this, so they can take a brief nap here if they want. I propose that we name the park in the Flats in honor of Ed and Doreen Kraus, two recently departed members of our community who were vital members of this town and who played key roles in developing and preserving the park through the years. Currently, the park has a name. It's the multi-generational park. It's not much of a name. It's completely redundant. Parks by definition are multi-generational for toddlers on up to seniors. Doesn't really, it's just a redundant name. Kraus Park has a much nicer ring. In the timely move, the union opened an exhibit last Saturday called Remembering Local Heroes, and it's devoted to Ed and Doreen. So if you never had the pleasure of meeting them, or if you're new to the area, which highly recommend you pay a visit to the exhibit. If you knew them, it's a worthwhile trip down memory lane. So in closing, we have an opportunity, I feel, here to do the right thing. Hopefully the board will eventually see it that way. And as always, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michael. Any other public comment from the floor? Yes, Star.
Thank you. This on? It was.
That one's up.
Better battery.
Okay, thank you. My public comment this evening, even with the, continuing threat of the incinerator that is being proposed for Sullivan County. As before, I'm going to ask that this, comment be, appended to the minutes meetings as a correspondence, so that people who might want to read what I've said or presented can do that. On September 29th, an emergency town hall meeting in Monticello warned that the county legislature was pursuing requests for information on the construction of a waste incinerator for Sullivan County. It's inconceivable to me why the legislators would have done that, asked for this, because it's a completely economically and ecologically devastating to have a garbage disposal plant like this. It spreads pollution from one end of the county and beyond, and it adds to what's already here that will affect our health and just general business and welfare of our residents. After this presentation on the 29th, which was very good and thorough, our legislator, Kat Scott, took a firm stand against allowing any garbage incinerators here. We strongly encourage town officials and the general public to ask for an informational meeting like the one that was presented on the 29th to become educated and informed of the serious threats posed by PFAS, plastic forever chemical pollutants. These poisonous chemicals are already in landfills, water sites, and other places around the county and around the world. To knowingly add more of this pollution to the environment is unconscionable. PFAS are a family of chemicals that build up in and concentrate our bodies. Generally, everything else that they touch is also contaminated. They are known to cause multitudes of deadly health problems like cancer, reproductive immune system damage, and other diseases. Both the DVD document docudrama Dark Waters and the book They Poison the World, Life and Death in the Age of Forever Chemicals reveal a terrifying true story of how giant chemical companies like DuPont continue to earn obscene profits while they knowingly allow PFAS pollution to devastate the world. And I have a link here to the They Poisoned the World information. We must now take action and demand that our leaders reject the use of any process that will add to the already existing pollution problem. Be informed, be involved, get involved, and help to stop the madness. I have some handouts here if anybody's interested in them, which I would be happy to give you. I have two other quick things to ask about. You mentioned that there will be an ADA upgrade on the building. Will that upgrade be completed before the election? It's going to be held down here, the voting.
That's what we've been told, yes.
Okay. And it was also mentioned about the parking lot pavement in the old bank area. I work on the Narrowsburg Beautification Committee, and I had planted with the group a row of flowers along that fence. I understand that the need for expanding and getting the most space out of the parking area to allow the maximum number of cars to park there. But I noticed that in doing that, the people that did the paving plowed up all along the fence where the garden had been planted, a whole 11 inches that they might add to the parking spaces. And from the weeds and other ways along that fence up above where the garden had been planted, nothing was touched. So I just wanted to ask if people really felt that that was necessary to just plow that up like that and eliminate it. It looks horrible, and I don't think you gain that much space.
I don't know that that was for Space Star. I believe that they did that to try to straighten the fence out. We're in the process of trying to determine who owns the fence to see if we're going to be putting a new one in.
Well, it would have been nice if somebody had at least asked us or let us know. that
Yeah, I
this
don't
was
know.
Going to happen.
I apologize, but I don't know that they knew that that's what they were doing there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from the floor? Do we have any comments from the sky? The cloud?
No sky people on here.
Okay.
Owls are giggling. But that is all.
Does the board want to make any comments before I make a motion to enter into executive session?
I would like to, Star, regarding what you said about the landscaping. Just to shout out to Narrowsburg Beautification, they're often at the Parks and Public Spaces, representatives are there. We always get the chance to acknowledge that you do exceptional work, with everything that you do downtown. And visitors commented when friends come to town, they comment on it all the time, so thank you for that. And I also wanted to remind everyone, even though the election locally is largely uncontested, I hope everyone will make an effort to come out and vote. Just to, make it clear that we are an engaged community and also support the poll workers who are here for many, many hours that day. So please consider voting on November 4th.
I have a comment.
No.
I just wanted to mention, speaking of Jane's comment.
Write it down. Do you have something?
Yeah, about you, because you're gonna do a talk, right? At something social
Oh,
about the rafting and the history of rafting. And that's 1 o'clock at the Kraus? 1:30?
On the 16th.
On the 16th.
Yep.
Anyway, Jane's our star there.
Thanks.
And Star, speaking of stars, you do really work hard. And it is appreciated. And I worry about you sometimes because you're out in the heat
Yeah.
without a hat on.
That should be my worst problem, heat.
have another announcement to make is that the Tustin Historical Society will be having their annual meeting on Sunday, this Sunday at Tustin Settlement Church. And we'll be celebrating Christmas in a Victorian way, and that's at 1 o'clock.
Not to have second comment, but this town is like a major Hollywood star. They're doing this shit. I don't know if they're still doing it. Is it over? It's over.
They wrapped it up this week and the Blue Fox will be reopening for business.
I mean, it had nothing to do with the board. The board had nothing to do with it, but it's interesting to know that, you know, we're
Still says Midnight Ramble.
that the town was, a set for a major, Netflix production. And speaking of the church, I always thought if some location scout could ever see that church, you could shoot a Western wedding or something, and you wouldn't have to change a thing. And it would probably make some nice money for the settlement church.
What time is that? 1 o'clock or something?
Anyway, that's my, John.
Maybe they did use it. I don't know.
So before I make a motion to enter the session, we are going to recess this meeting, due to time constraints with the budget. And we'll be recessing it to 1:30 PM on the 23rd of this month, which will be directly following the work session so that we can approve a preliminary budget. To get it into the newspapers so that it will be available in time for the public hearing, which will be November 6th at 6:30 PM. And on that note, that's never a good sign. So I will make a motion to enter executive session to discuss the acquisition and disposition of real property. My second, all in favor?
Aye.
Folks, thank you.
7:22.
Be careful.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Okay, so you're saying.
French restaurant. One and all.
What?
Going down.
Motion to come out of executive session at 7:48.
Under entity search.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
Second.
all in favor? Opposed.
Aye.
Motion to recess this meeting.
Oh, right.
To October 23rd at 1:30.
1:30 PM.
That's,
Something.
that's the end of our next, our budget.
Okay,
session.
second,
I'll second.
Corporation back then.
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent, have a wonderful evening and hope.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
who would tell me who was